All right. Shalom Aleichem. First and foremost, we give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem HaMashiach Yahushai, for his love and compassion for our people scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And today is our Torah portion, which starts in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 18, and it continues all the way to Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, verse 9. So, without further ado, let's get started. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 18. Judges and officers shall not make thee in all thy gates. So, like judges and officers shall thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Most High thy power giveth thee throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. Now, the question is what does that mean, just judgment? What qualify a judgment to being just? Obviously, everyone can say they're just, but according to the Bible, we're gonna find a definition of what just means. The next verse tells us, verse 19, thou shalt not rest judgment, nor shalt thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift does blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. So now it's very important for you to understand, in the eyes of the Most High, justice, judgment, for it to be righteous, there cannot be respect of person. What does that mean? You can't look at your friends and determine that they are not guilty just because they are your friends. And you cannot look at someone just because they look poor. You decide justice should not be in their favor. This is called corruption according to the Bible. Right? And the Bible says, neither take a gift, for a gift does blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. What does that mean when you accept a gift for judgment? That's called bribery, right? In the eyes of the Most High, bribing is not good, it's not right, and it's not judgment. Now, furthermore, the word just means to be righteous, right? According to our faith, being righteous means keeping the commandments of the Most High. And let's prove that. We're going to read in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our God, as he has commanded us. You want to be righteous? You keep the commandments. And so if your judgment is not righteous, then there's a problem. It's not right. Your judgment is corrupt. And we're going to see as we read further in this chapter, a lot of our people make the same mistake because they are not able to give the correct judgment when matters are presented in front of them. Let's continue on. Verse 20, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 20. It says, that which is altogether just shalt thou follow, that thou mayest live and inherit the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Now you have to understand, you shouldn't be following just anything or just anyone. It must be something just. And if it's a person, that person must be righteous. That person must be just. Just is the same as righteousness. And I've said that again. I've said that before. Being just is the same as being righteous. And again, what is righteous? Deuteronomy 6:25. Someone who keeps the commandments. Right? Now, let's get another verse right quick in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 2. Let's get Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 2 right quick. Salakia, 1 second. Let's find the verse we're looking for is not Deuteronomy, it's Exodus 23, verse 2. Let's get it. Exodus 23, verse 2. The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to the evil, not, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment. Now, it is a law that you're not going to follow the multitude to the evil. And everyone need to understand, if you see someone is doing wickedness, if you see someone is corrupt in his ways, and you continue to follow that person, you yourself, you are corrupt. You are the face and image of corruption. You understand? And someone who is unable to judge the smallest matter, who is corrupt, who is issuing a harsher judgment to the poor, who is issuing a harsher judgment to someone who who seem to be unable to defend themselves, and yet when their friends is in their presence, they try to issue, they try to say they are not guilty. This person, this man is corrupt. And if you follow this man, you yourself, you are corrupt. You are the face of corruption. And exactly one of the reasons why, as a people, we went into slavery in the first place is because of injustice that we had in our ancestral homeland, right? But we're gonna continue on. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 21. Thou shalt not plant thee a grove of any trees near unto the altar of the Most High thy power, which thou shalt make thee, neither shalt thou set thee up any image which the Most High thy power hate. Now, a lot of you don't know those groves were set up primarily for Ashtoreth. Nowadays, you see in the churches, they have Christmas trees, which is literally the same thing as putting a plant near the altar of the Most High, right? But we know those churches, they don't really worship the Most High. We know that, but we see it. We see they have Christmas trees in the churches. They have the image of the white Jesus. They have the image of the virgin birth, Virgin Mary. They also have even LGBT flag, the pole, a pole LGBT flag up there. They have all kind of wickedness, right? But the Most High say what? The Most High say, it says, thou shalt not plant thee a grove of any trees near unto the altar of the Most High thy power, which thou shalt make thee, neither shalt thou set up thee any image which the Most High God hate. You understand? The Most High hate that image of that white Jesus, hate that image of that Virgin Mary. You know why? Because they are not according to the Bible, man. That Virgin Mary goes back to Babylonian worshiping and all the way back to Egypt. Okay? So you can't be putting up those images, and you're not supposed to be putting Christmas trees. You're not supposed to do none of those things. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 1. Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Most High thy power any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, any evil favoriteness, for that is an abomination unto the Most High. If you're gonna sacrifice, you can't bring the worst of what you have. And a lot of our people do the same thing. Whatever they have, they look for the worst to bring to the Most High. Nah, the Most High don't deal like that. You have to bring the best of what you have. Verse 2, Deuteronomy 17, verse 2. If there be found among you within any of thy gates which the Most High thy power giveth thee, men or women, that has wrought wickedness in the sight of the Most High, thy power, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or the moon or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded. And if it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, if it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth the man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing, unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stone till they die. You know what that means? Nowadays, we see people do a lot of wickedness. Back in the days, you caught somebody worshiping a false image. You caught somebody worshiping that Virgin Mary. You caught with somebody doing any type of wickedness, worshiping that white Jesus. You caught somebody doing voodoo. You're gonna bring them so they can be stoned. It wasn't no game. They will be put to death, man. They will be put to death. That's exactly how it was back in the days, right? Now we know we are in the lands of our captivity, and so we cannot carry out judgment. But back in the days, in the land of our ancestors in Israel, that's how we used to deal with those matters. Verse 6: At the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. Right? Shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. Verse 7: The hands of the witness shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. Now, this thing here is very important because the Bible is talking about two witnesses. Why that's important? Because somebody could lie, but when you have two witnesses, they saw this and they testify of it. That's a serious matter, and so judgment is gonna always be issued at the testimony of two witnesses, right? But then let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 20 right quick. Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 20. It says, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. But what if somebody bear false witness against thy neighbor? That itself, we're gonna read down further down, you're gonna see that person is gonna receive harsh punishment for bearing false witness against their neighbor. But then what if you have two witnesses and a judge refuse to give impartial justice and the judge refused to judge a matter according to the law? Then that judge himself is corrupt. You understand? That judge is corrupt and honestly deserve to be put to death. This is serious matters. This is serious business. We cannot take those things lightly. Verse 8: If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou arise and get thee up into the place which the Most High thy power shall choose. Thou shalt come into the priest and the Levites and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment. Now, here goes something that's important. If you pay attention, the matter was supposed to be judged within communities. Let me read that again. Where it says in verse 8, stroke, I'm kind of jumping down, where it says, stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou arise and get thee up in the place which the Most High thy power shall choose. So when there's a problem, it should be dealt within your communities first. Then, if you cannot resolve this matter, that's when you're gonna go to the Levites. If to the Levites or the judges, because in Israel we had two instances, two groups of people that provide that issue judgments. It was the Levites or it was the judges. Okay, verse 10, Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 9. Let's read verse 9. And thou shalt come up unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment. Verse 10, and thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Most High shall choose shall show thee. And thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach, and according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee, to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that stand to minister before the Most High thy power, or unto the judge, even that man shall die. And thou shalt put away the evil from Israel, and all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. What does that mean? When the judge in Israel or in your community or in your area where you live issue judgment, you gotta listen. Even if you call yourself, I don't know, a governor, or you call yourself a minister or something, if the judge issue a judgment, then you're gonna have to go to the judge and do what the judge has told you. And this is one of the things we've seen before, where a judge issue a judgment, and this so-called leader would come and challenge a judge and have crooked meetings, so being upset because they were more like taking side of the corrupt, but not of the victim. We've seen that before. It's not new. And guess what? In Israel, once the judge tell you, man, you try to argue. I don't care if you call yourself a leader, whatever you call yourself. If you a judge in Israel issue a sentence, man, you're supposed to be put to death if you're gonna try to go against that judgment. Okay? And this right there shows you, if a leader in certain is in position of power, the Most High give you a chance to lead a congregation or community, and you are corrupt, you too gonna get it. You're gonna get it. The Most High is not playing games with Negroes, because when the judge issue a judgment, what position are you in to come and have little meetings talking about you don't think the judgment was right, talking about those people, those other groups of people, they're more important because they pay more money. You understand? That's corruption. That's called corruption. And the Most High does not deal with corrupt people. Okay? Let's continue on. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 14. Verse 14. When thou art come unto the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Most High thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren thou shalt set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Most High has said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. What does that mean? The Most High, what the Most High is saying is he's not gonna want a king to be set over you, and that king is gonna lead you back to the corrupt ways that you were living. He's not gonna set up a king over you. You're not supposed to set up a king that's gonna lead you back to Egypt. Why? Egypt is a symbol of oppression. Egypt is a symbol of wickedness. Okay, and furthermore, you are not going to set up a king over you, and that king is not one of you. Why? Because he's not gonna care about you. Your king is supposed to come from among you, the same bloodline. He's not supposed to be a stranger. Because if it is a stranger, he's gonna have his own agenda. Okay? Let's continue on. Verse 17. Deuteronomy 17, verse 17. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away, neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sit upon the throne of his kingdom, and he shall write him a copy of this law, and a book out of that which is before the priest the Levite, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Most High his God, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes to do them. You are not supposed to have a king that's gonna just all about enriching himself and make himself rich, get gold and silver. You're not supposed to have one of those kings. Why? Because that king won't care about you. You're gonna be poor. He's not gonna care. He's all about amassing wealth for himself and his family. But more importantly, you need to have a king that keeps the commandments. That's why the Bible says he needs to be reading the law. The same copy that the priests and the judges have, he needs to have it. That way, the decisions that he's gonna make is gonna align the same way a judge or a priest would decide. No difference. The same way, everybody operating the same way. No difference. He's not supposed to get some kind of like foreign constitution like the American Constitution to try to judge it. Nah, it's supposed to be the same law. Now let's get the book of Joshua right quick. Let me show you something. The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein and night. So like thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. You know what that means? For a king to succeed, he needs to meditate on the law day and night, every single day, man. Day in and out. To practice, to learn, to how to judge matter, how to make decisions. And when you see a king or a leader is diverting from the law, is doing wickedness and defending it, you should know that's a red flag right there. You should know that's a red flag. And don't fall for tricks too, because you might have a leader that try to show or act like they keep the commitments, but they don't really keep the commitments. Okay? So don't be tricked. Right? Let's get back to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 19. Verse 20. That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandments to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. So that king that you're hoping to have is going to be keeping the commandments. Why? Because if he doesn't keep the commandments, the Bible says that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, right? That he don't think he's all that. You understand? That's one of the key reasons why he needs to keep the commandments. He needs to have that book of the law. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 1. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Israel shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Most High made by fire in his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Most High is their inheritance, as he has said unto them. Now, that's very important for you guys to know. Those offerings were primarily the resources that the priests would have. They didn't have farming. They didn't have none of those things. They rely on the offerings. They relied on the tithes. They relied on those things to survive. Right? Let's read verse 3. Verse 3. Deuteronomy 18, verse 3. And it shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep. They shall give unto the priest the shoulder and the two cheeks and the maw. The maw is the stomach lining, right? The first fruit also of thy corn. So every time you have a how do you call it, like you farm, and then this is when your harvest, right? When you have your harvest, then thy corn and thy wine and thy oil, everything, the first of everything is gonna be for the priest, right? So the first fruit also of thy corn, of thy wine, of thine oil, and the first of thy fleece of thy sheep shall thou give him. For the Most High thy power has chosen him out of all thy tribe to stand to minister in the name of the Most High, him and his sons forever. So those remember specifically the priests, not any random individual, the priest, right? Next, verse 4, verse 5. For the Most High thy power has chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Most High, him and his sons forever. Verse 6. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel, where he sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind unto the place which the Most High shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of the Most High his God, as all his brethren the Levites do, which stand there before the Most High. They shall have like portions to eat beside that which come of the sale of his patrimony. Now, it's important for you to understand what the word patrimony means. Right? Patrimony is something that comes from your family, from your lineage, from your. So, like for example, your family, they left you something. I don't know, maybe a house or something like that. You are expected to continue to receive the same portion that you should receive, and not have to take money from your inheritance, or from a farm or something like that, and give it to somebody. Now, mind you, it's important to understand some of the Levites, they used to live in urban areas, and so they wouldn't have like a whole land called the land of Dan, or the land of Judah, but they would have lands within each tribe. Those urban places, they are inheritance, and you're not expecting that they're gonna have to sell those things just to make money, but they shall continue to receive the exact portion as they would normally do. So the Bible say on verse 8, they shall have like portions to eat, besides, meaning next to, that which cometh of the sale of his patrimony. So whatever they sell to make money, it's that's gonna be next to what they are supposed to receive. Not as if now you're gonna be um getting money from, maybe a place that you rent or something like that, and then you no longer are getting anything for as part of the money you're supposed to earn as a priest. You know, like you will still get not the money, but rather the offerings and everything that you would get as a priest. You will continue to receive those, but then whatever resources that you have aside from that, nobody can force you to sell it, or nobody can say you're not getting any more than that because you have some money on the side. Okay. Verse 9, Deuteronomy 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that make his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that use divination. So the people, they used to take their children and have them pass through fire for Moloch, and they would have like some of them, they would have the statue of Baal, like a gigantic cow, and there's a fire, and it was part of your ritual to pass your children to fire, and a lot of times those children would be burned in those fire. Most I say, don't want to be doing those things. That's wickedness, right? Verse 10, there shall, verse 11, or Selachia, let's go back to verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that make his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that use divination. Divination is trying to guess time, trying to use horoscope, and trying to use other things to try to guess time. Like the Most High say, you're not supposed to be doing that. No divination. Also, it says, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. So anyone who, if you're a charmer, some people, they would do certain things that for women to be attracted to them. They call it charming them. They would try to consult with familiar spirits, or I'm gonna call your grandma spirit, or I'm gonna call your auntie spirit, so you can talk to them. All of that, the Most High consider it as an abomination, and if you do that, you're supposed to be put to death, man. Verse 18: For all those, Salakia, for all that do these things, or an abomination unto the Most High. And because of these abominations, the Most High, that power, does drive them out from before thee. Meaning, this is what those nations used to do, and this is why the Most High drive them from before thee. Verse 13, thou shalt be perfect with the Most High thy power. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observers of times, and unto diviners, or diviners. But as for thee, the Most High thy power has not suffered thee so to do. Now, here go another thing a lot of people don't understand. When we are saying you have to be perfect, a lot of people, they say, well, nobody can be perfect. But guess what? It is a law that you shall be perfect. Okay? Deuteronomy 18, verse 13, it says, thou shalt be perfect with the Most High thy power. You will be perfect. That means it's a law. It's not like whether you want it or not. It is a law that you have to strive for perfection, to be perfect with the Most High. Everything that you do is to be perfect with the Most High. And exactly what does that mean, to be perfect? To be perfect simply means to keep the commandments. That's all it is. Keep the commandments. And if you out there, you're not even trying to keep the commandments, you're not trying to be perfect with the Most High. Let's make it very simple. You are not trying to be perfect with the Most High. And a lot of you use that, no, well, nobody can be perfect, or nobody is perfect, to not even try to be right with the Most High. And I think that's a mistake. You understand? And really, you can say it's wickedness, because the church, they purposely teach the people they can never be perfect. And because of that, the people don't even try to keep the commandments. They don't even try to be perfect at all, because they already teach them that it's unreachable. It's impossible. Let's get the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. I'm gonna show you what perfect means. The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple. The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple. So if you're looking to be perfect, you need to do what? To keep the law of the Most High. Why? Because the law of the Most High is perfect. That's what makes you perfect. It's very simple. Keep the commandments, and in the eyes of the Most High, you're going to be perfect. Verse 15, Deuteronomy 18, verse 15. The Most High thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken, according to all that thou desirest of the Most High thy power in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Most High my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And the Most High said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophets which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. Now you have to understand, when the Most High promised there's going to be a prophet like Moses, it wasn't talking about everybody. Now we see the Muslims, they use that to say, see, Muhammad was like unto Moses. Nah. First thing first, it says, in the midst of thee. That means among your people. Amos chapter 2, verse 11. The prophets, they would come from among us. And Muhammad come from the lineage of Ishmael. He's not from the lineage of Isaac. So he's not one of us, okay? Very important. He's not from the lineage of Isaac. He's not from the lineage of Jacob. He's an Ishmaelite. And therefore, we cannot have Muslims claiming to be claiming that Muhammad is that prophet that was promised. No, the prophet is Hamashiach Yahushua, man. Why? Because he spoke the word of the Most High. He didn't come to do his own stuff. He didn't have his own agenda. His only thing that he wanted to do is to do the will of the Father. Also, through his blood, he's able to bring us back to the Most High, man. Through his blood, he's able to bring us back to the Most High. Now let's see if we can get it first right quick. Let's get it first. Let's see what verse we can get here. The book of John. Let's get the book of John. And we're gonna get the book of John, chapter 5. Let's look for it right quick. The book of John, chapter 6, not 5, but 6:38. It says, um, For I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. I didn't come to do my own will. That's the book of John, by the way, 6:38. I didn't come to do my own will. I came to do the will of him that sent me, which is the will of the Most High. We're going to continue on. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. That's called a false prophet. And if you want more on that, you can go to Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1 to 5. Show you how you know a prophet is a true prophet or a false prophet. Right? But here in Deuteronomy 18, verse 20, it says, if a prophet gonna speak stuff and I didn't tell him, that's a false prophet, meaning that prophet is gonna be put to death. Verse 21, and if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Most High has spoken? Verse 22, when a prophet speak in the name of the Most High, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Most High has not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. But it's not just that. This is why you have to read Deuteronomy 13, because sometimes they will tell you something that comes to pass, and then they tell you to not keep the commandments right after. Now you know that's a false prophet. So go back and read Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1 to 5. Right? Deuteronomy 19, verse 1. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 1. When the Most High thy power has cut off the nations whose land the Most High thy power giveth thee, and thou succeed them, and dwellest in their cities and their houses, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of the land, which the Most High thy power giveth thee to possess it. Those 3 cities are the cities of refuge that we saw in Deuteronomy chapter 4. Okay, they're called cities of refuge. You can go back and read about them, right? Verse 3. Verse 3, Deuteronomy 19, verse 3, thou shalt prepare thee a way and divide the coast of thy land, which the Most High thy power giveth thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither. Somebody who kills somebody, they can flee, they can run. Why? Deuteronomy 19, verse 4, and this is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither, that he may leave. Whosoever kill his neighbor ignorantly, that means by accident, whom he hated not in time past. That means clearly he didn't plan on doing that. As when a man goes into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetched a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slipped from the helve and lighted upon his neighbor, that he die, he shall flee unto one of the cities and live. So just think about it. If you're cutting tree with somebody, and while you're cutting tree, the head of the axe just fly right off, and he killed the other guy. Like, you really didn't mean to kill the guy. Like, you didn't plan on doing that. He's your friend, he's your brother, you're in pain. But you know the family, they're probably gonna try to kill you. So what you gotta do? You're gonna have to go to one of them cities of refuge for the matter to be judged. And then maybe if you're not guilty, your life will be spared. Right? Let's continue. Verse 6. Deuteronomy 19, verse 6. Lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer while his heart is hot, and overtake him because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he hated him not in time past. Wherefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee, and if the Most High thy power enlarge thy coast, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers, if thou shalt keep all these commandments to do them, which I command thee this day, to love the Most High thy power, and to walk ever in his ways, then shalt thou add 3 cities more for thee, besides these 3, that innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Most High thy power giveth thee for an inheritance, or so, and so blood be upon thee. So that would be a total of 6, right? But that's if you manage to get the rest of the land and it's enlarged, and you manage to go through this whole conquest, then you would have in total of 6 cities. But the purpose of it is, somebody kills somebody, they can flee in that place and be safe, because the family, the people, they're trying to kill you, but you can be there and be safe until the matter is heard. Verse 10, that innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Most High thy power giveth thee for an inheritance, and so blood be upon thee. Now, mind you, it's very important, because if you have to understand, if somebody kills somebody by accident, and the family there was just hot, and they killed that guy, that's an innocent blood, because he didn't mean to kill him. You literally kill an innocent man. He killed his friend by accident. That's an innocent man. And if we keep having that in the land, that's a problem. You can't keep having innocent people's blood be shed in the land. And now we see in America, black people's blood be shed all the time. The police, they kill black people all the time. Our blood be shed all the time. As a matter of fact, the entire country is built on the blood of innocent people, on the blood of innocent men and women. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans get killed all the time. Let's get that in the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 12. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 12. Woe to him that build a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. A lot of the cities that you see, a lot of the counties that you see, they're all built by blood, man. They kill people to build those places. A lot of innocent blood gets shed because the white men wanted to take your land. They wanted to take what you have. And now they're whining about immigrants coming to take our jobs. You not only take people's jobs, you take people's countries. You slaughter innocents. Esau did them. That's what the Bible speaks of, right? The book of Deuteronomy chapter 19 verse 11. But if any man hate his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally, that he die, and fleeth into one of the cities, then the elders of the city shall send and fetch him thence, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. Thine eye shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. What does that mean? If you have a case of premeditated murder, like the guy thought about it, he plotted it and killed somebody, and he flee unto that city, thinking when he get there he's gonna get refuge. The priests there, they're gonna judge the matter, and the elders of that city, they're gonna go to the priest and say, priest, this guy, he did it on purpose. It's not like he did it ignorantly or by accident. He did it on purpose. We want you to deliver this guy to us. And once the priest, they judge the matter, because the city of refuge is going to have priests there, right? And when they priest, they judge the matter, they see this guy really did it on purpose, they're going to deliver him to the elders, and the elders going to take him to that place so the slayer can kill him. The family, they're going to be the first ones to put their hands on this guy. They're going to take him out. So it wasn't like you flee to the city of refuge to escape judgment. No, you fled to the city of refuge so that you do not die if you are innocent. But if you are guilty, death will come to you. Verse 19, Salakia, Deuteronomy 19, verse 14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Most High thy God giveth thee to possess. We see that a lot of time in the Caribbean where people be moving people's landmarks. Sometimes they do it so they can make money, or so they try to take your lands. They secretly go throughout the night and they dig up your landmark and they move it. You know, it's this wickedness. Thou shalt not do that. That's really, really wicked, right? Verse 15, one witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, and any sin that he sinned, at the mouth of two witnesses, or at the mouth of three witnesses, shall the matter be established. Very important. If there are three witnesses, then this matter will be established. And if there are two witnesses, a judge, you cannot judge a matter, you are corrupt. You, in fact, are the definition of corruption. And you might think you get away with it, but trust me, in due time, you're going to get a slap in the mouth. Don't be excited, because you don't know what's coming. You let people get away with crimes. You cover for your friends. You being crooked, and you think you win? Nah. You might think you know the end, but we do. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you, the Most High will bring judgment and justice. This is why we see, for example, in America, a lot of people, they kill innocent black people, and there's no justice. You could have the camera right there. You have a camera right there. Caught them in the act. The judge will give them a slap in the wrist. But I'm gonna tell you something. They're not gonna get away with it, man. In due time, the Most High is gonna give them a slap in the mouth. Right? Because the Most High is never going to allow the wicked to get away with wickedness. Even if you die, he's gonna require it of you. Even if you die, he's gonna require it of you, man. That's some serious matter. Right? Let me read something for you right quick. In the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 3. The Most High is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Most High has his way in the whirlwind, in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Never will you think you're gonna get away with it. Nah, the Most High ain't gonna let you get away with wickedness. He will never acquit the wicked, and in due time you're gonna get the just punishment that you deserve. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 16. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the man between whom the controversy shall stand before the Most High, before the priests and the judges which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother, then shall you do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you, and those which remain shall fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you, and that eyes shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, and foot for foot. What does that mean? That means if someone, you lie, and we see that all the time, where white women, they're lying about black men raping them, and those black men never do anything. If you do something like that, whatever the punishment they were going to punish that innocent man, you're gonna get that punishment. If the judge, if the law require 5 years for a rape, and you accuse a man of raping you, you're gonna get 5 years behind bars. That's how it's supposed to be. The person is not supposed to get away with it. They lied. They're supposed to be arrested and spend the exact amount of time that the innocent would have spent in jail or in prison if the judge had judged according or based on the testimony of that person. So it's very important, man. This is serious matter. Right? Deuteronomy 20 verse 1. When thou goes out to battle against thine enemies and see horses and chariots and the people more than thou, be not afraid of them. For the Most High thy God is with thee, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemy. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Most High your God is he that go with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And that's another thing that's very important. You don't want to bring weak people to the battle, man. You don't want to be bringing people that are scared to war. They're going to cause you to lose. As soon as they see heavy weaponry, as soon as they see your enemy looking tough, as soon as they see them chariots and them horses, everybody flee. Everybody scatter. So you don't want to be bringing softies. You don't want to be bringing weak people to the battle with you, man. It's not going to do you no good. Right? So that's why you have to have the priest up there and telling the people, if you're afraid, if you're scared, you might as well get out of here. Right? You might as well go, because you're going to cause people to lose. Let's get Revelation 21 verse 8. Revelation 21 verse 8. But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burn with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. The fearful, if you're afraid, you can't even make it in the kingdom of the Most High, man. Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 5. And the officer shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that has planted a vineyard and has not eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that has betrothed a wife and has not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle, and another man take her. And the officer shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren heart faint as well as his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. Those things have to happen first. When they happen, then you are ready to go to battle. Then you are ready to go to war. Okay? So this was the end of our Torah portion for this week. May the Most High bless you. May the Most High make his face shine upon you. May the Most High give you peace. Shalom.